Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week. Today, we're back with a video about some astonishing moments that are so unusual and strange, you'll think we're making it all up. Well, we're not, and we have video footage to back it up, as seeing is believing. Some of these moments really have a 1 in a billion chance of happening. Others are really spooky and mysterious, defying explanation. But to mix it up more, we also have some surprisingly positive and inspiring moments too. Regardless of the slant, all these stories will change your perception of what's possible and what's not. Sometimes, reality really is stranger than fiction, and we're always discovering new, interesting things. Number 1. Car drives under a truck. In a remarkably and dangerous show of skill, Chimp successfully passed from one side of an 18-wheeler to the other. Underneath it, the 18-wheeler had a lifted bed, which had sufficient space for some really small cars, like the chosen 2-seater Mazda Miata, to drive underneath it. Beginning the stunt, Chimp caught up to the gap between the wheels of the truck and then synchronized his vehicle's velocity with the truck's. Then he steered towards the other side ever so slowly, while maintaining the synced speed. Obviously, this is an extremely dangerous stunt to pull, as even a slight change of velocity between the two vehicles could cause a collision. Even an unmatched momentum from the massive truck could have killed him, and there weren't any safety measures put in place. But the heart-pounding moment passed with no issues, as Chimp made it to the other side and quickly sped up. Number 2. Moose running over water. Moose are animals known for their large size, elaborate antlers, and their ability to run on water? Wait, that can't be right. But astonishingly, a video did capture a moose doing just that. And it wasn't an illusion caused by the lake being frozen either. The ripples in the water make it clear that it was completely fluid. Much like how cartoon characters seem to ignore the laws of physics until they realize something's amiss, so did the moose trot on top of the water with no noticeable issues. Also, the water didn't appear to be shallow, nor did the moose appear to be walking on a sandbar as a motorboat cruised alongside the animal. Normally, the farther out you go, the deeper the water, right? So, all this combined makes this video super perplexing. It's hard to believe, even after seeing it, that this really happened. Perhaps someone needs to look beneath the water surface to find the real explanation. Number 3. Giant water lily. A plant hardly seems like a thing that would surprise anyone, but hold on for just a bit. This giant water lily completely defies anything you'd expect from a plant. For one, its leaves are so large they can support a human child. It's a wondrously beautiful plant with white or reddish-pink flowers and large circular floating leaves. But go beneath the surface, and this plant is more of a tyrant or monster. In a BBC time-lapse, the viewer is treated to a full view of the plant's territorial nature. First, the plant uses its thorny buds like a weapon. The bud gradually rises to the surface from underneath, and then, in circular sweeps, clears out the plants around it. This is behavior seen in animals, but not in plants. Once this domineering plant has claimed the space around it, it crushes or skewers the defeated plants with the thorns on its side. It seems to be able to move in a controlled way, as if it had a mind of its own. This is highly unusual for a plant and rather creepy. Number 4. Dog riding a bike. We already know that dogs are amazing in so many ways, be it their sense of smell, intelligence, quick thinking, protectiveness, loyalty, the list goes on. But one dog went beyond what we'd even expect to prove how capable it was. Luke, a golden retriever, rode a motorbike with its owner in the back seat. The dog was in complete control and was going pretty fast. But miraculously, the dog drove the bike over a long distance with no issues at all. Only when Luke seemed distracted did his owner signal him to look forward. Luke seemed more adept at driving than some humans are. But this is still such an unbelievable stunt that even with video, we're having a hard time believing it happened. And even though it looks cool, letting Luke drive was very dangerous for them both. Let's not overlook the fact that neither of them were wearing helmets either. In 2017, Luke passed away. Number 5. Chimp beating humans. Humans have the best mental capacity among all species, of course. Or so we thought. A chimpanzee named Ayumu at Japan's Primate Research Institute beat humans at memory memory task games, and by a wide margin. A series of tests were devised for chimps. The one in focus here for short-term memory. The numbers 1 to 9 were scattered about on a touchscreen. The test was to memorize the location of all the numbers, then select them in ascending order when the numbers were concealed. This seemingly simple test proved very challenging for the human candidates, who had a very meager success rate. Even though they trained for the test, Ayumu still beat them. In just seconds, Ayumu succeeded almost 9 out of 10 times, and only took seconds to do so. After Ayumu's landslide victory, they were rewarded with a treat. Number 6. Color-changing car. It's not a stretch to assume that quite a few people get bored of their car after some years, but buying a new car can be very expensive. Perhaps a fresh coat of paint would renew the car you already own. It certainly can make a car look cooler. Now, what if you could do that without going anywhere or paying any money? BMW has achieved this. Their concept car, the BMW iX Flow e-Ink, can change its color without delay at the mere press of a button. Now, changing colors is cool, but BMW also took the innovation further by providing users with color dynamics, creating patterns and cycling between the two. There are currently only 2 color variations available, black and white, but you can mix and match these colors for different parts of the exterior. This super sweet innovation was demonstrated at the CES 2022, one of the premier technology showcase events. Number 7. Basketball disappears mid-game. In an NBA match between Oklahoma City Thunder and Phoenix Suns, a very mysterious occurrence was filmed. Russell Westbrook infiltrated the opposing side, slipping past the defenses and threw the ball up, aiming for the basket. However, the throw failed. To Westbrook's disappointment, he proceeded to clasp the ball, probably to vent. But after this, the ball just seemed to disappear. It wasn't with Westbrook or with anyone else. After a long, hard look, no one was able to find it. Not even the watchers at the sidelines had it. Had the ball simply disappeared? Or could it be that Russell is a sleight-of-hand trickster? That theory is very far-fetched, but since the ball wasn't found, no one knows what happened to it. Number 8. Baby balances on crib. Babies are vulnerable and should never be left alone. But maybe carelessly, little Connor's parents left him alone in his crib. Like most other cribs, the railings were pretty tall, but still, Connor, who was maybe 4, still managed to climb the side of the crib. Unbelievably, he proceeded to balance himself on the narrow rail, standing there straight for 22 seconds. Then he fell backwards atop the mattress. The entire time, he was wailing in fear. This is so unbelievable, since even most adults have trouble balancing on narrow objects like this one. Good thing Connor's parents had a CC camera, so they were able to see just what had happened. Rather eerily though, the footage made it look like Connor's eyes were glowing. That caused some people to question if the boy was possessed. However, his parents made it clear that the glowing eyes were just an artifact of the night vision camera, and their baby was pretty normal. Number 9. Biker crashes onto moving car's top. A motorcyclist experienced both a fortunate and unfortunate incident at the same time. What happened was really like something you'd only see in an action movie. Yet, in August 2014, the entire event happened in front of someone who just happened to be riding in a car with a camera to record it all. It was near sunset. Things were going normally until a car in front of him steered left to change lanes. Right at the same time, a high-speed motorcycle seemed to be aiming to merge into the same lane. That's when a collision happened. It also seemed like the motorcyclist was going too fast, especially in the thick of traffic, but that's up for debate at some other time. Immediately after the collision, the biker was thrown from the bike and, amazingly, after being flipped 360 degrees, landed on his feet on top of the car he'd crashed into. He remained atop the car without sustaining any injuries. Number 10. Friendship between dog and duck. Siberian Huskies are omnivorous creatures whose diet often includes other small creatures. This is because they have a high prey drive, meaning their instincts often lead them to hunt other animals, including ducks. It seems quite likely that, if a duck was placed before a Siberian Husky, it would gobble it up. But, contrary to assumptions, a pet husky in Strout, Minnesota befriended a duck instead. The husky in question, Max, had lost his friend, another husky named Sasha. He was alone. But, soon after, his family bought a duckling named Quackers, who had also lost his family. Max grew attached to the duckling, staying by his cage all day. That's probably how the bond grew mutually. Now they're both close friends, and neither are lonely anymore. This entire adorable friendship was filmed by CBS. That is all for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Since you've watched this far, why not click on one of the 2 videos on your screen? See you there!